What up, Doc?
On this edition of Ultrasound,
Are you guys ready to slam?
25 years in the mosh pit.
I want to see the biggest circle whirlwind pits.
Enter at your own risk.
Hells yeah, I'm gonna mosh tonight.
In the last 2.5 decades, the mosh pit has evolved from a site of semi-organized hardcore mayhem to a colorful backdrop for car commercials.
It's a car, crowd surfing. Like, come on, you know?
And as more and more fans get in the pit, it's become an increasingly dangerous place.
There's a whole level of people underneath that crowd right now that are getting trampled.
Add sex to the already violent mosh pit scene, and the results can be disturbing and deadly. In the next 60 minutes, you'll see the birth of the slam dance, the explosive growth of a once obscure phenomenon,
We got a new extreme sport.
the mosh backlash,
And we publicly take a stand against moshing.
and of course, some of the sickest stage dives of all time. We'll also examine the intellectual roots of the mosh. Well, maybe not. Ultrasound, the social history of the mosh pit. The lights go down, the band steps out on stage, and a ritual begins that nobody can completely explain.
There's this whole sort of tension that just kind of rises.
You can smell it, you can taste it. You know, it's like that opening shot on The Wizard of Oz where everything starts getting pulled in. And
The audience parts like the Red Sea, and then there's a circle that's constantly revolving.
Nothing's more exciting than nothing looks cooler than just like a sea of people jumping up and down like this.
It looked like an ocean of just bodies all in unison, jumping up and down like this. It's like, oh man, undescribable. You gotta see it.
You ever see like a flock of birds or a school of fish where all of a sudden they're all doing the same thing? And you wonder, how the hell did they know to do that at the same time? Well, that's what a pit's like.
What's going on in a pit? What is really going on?
That depends on whom you ask. In any case, it's more than just music.
The geeks, the freaks, you know, it's like the stoners and the rockers and the punkers. Makes them feel like they fit in. That's what it's there for.
It's a bonding, really. It's a real kind of tribal expression of what the music does to you. Unless you're actually in it, you can't really relate.
You're kind of like one when you're in that pit.
There's something in your life, parents, school, job, girlfriend, whatever, that is causing you frustration and it's pent up. So you go to the pit and you're like, ah!
Go to a show and really, really just get it out and become part of a group.
you join with the energy from everyone else in the pit. You feel bodies up against you. You're forcing yourself to constantly stay on your feet.
The pit also satisfies the occasional human need to get a little crazy.
It's like a football game, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gets hurt, it's real aggressive, but it's a release of pent-up energy, you know? That's how you do it. There really is, you know, it's a full contact sport.
Like, I just gotta get something out. Hey, bang my head against the wall. You know, that there's like somebody else feeling like you feeling, and y'all energy is just bouncing off each other. Boom! Yeah, I feel you.
Have a nice bump on the head to be souvenir of the concert.
You're getting all into it.
Yeah,
You're like, dude, this was dope. You go back and tell your friends, dude, I bucked somebody.
You get
That was
knocked on
dope.
your butt, you get back up like, yeah, you know?
I got my glasses broken, bloody nose, got my tongue ring knocked out. Yeah, you go right back in.
Abandoning all thoughts of precaution and safety to do something really awesome that's really moved by the music.
You don't have to know how to dance. You don't have to have no rhythm, or just get out there and just lose it.
I'm very serious about getting kicked in the head and enjoying it very much.
It's still brutal. It's still crazy. I mean, the kids are losing their minds, but the last thing they want to do is hurt each other, man. They just want to have fun. They just want to do their thing.
The various nuances of each pit are most clearly seen from the stage.
You got circular pits, like everybody moves in one direction. Then you got that maniac dangerous. Then you got the two guys holding each other. And you got the big fat guy in the middle that's trying to destroy everybody.
I've observed the Happy Pit, say a Green Day show, and the Ugly Pit, you know, Pantera show, and the psychology of those two pits. But the spirit of the pit is not an ugly one.
Mosh pits also have a purpose of sorts. They're a way of saluting the band, an alternative form of applause.
It gets us off on stage to see that crowd just going whack like that, and we start going off even harder.
If your music's really good, they'll mosh to it.
To me, that's what a show is, that energy, you know, coming back from the band to the people.
Like, they ain't gonna mosh unless they feel the music.
It makes playing a song that you might have been playing for, 2 years straight on the road, just like it gives it life, and it gives it life for you to be able to
play it and just, you know, give it 110%.
One thing that can get in the way of that band and fan energy exchange is seats.
Get up and let's go crazy! Push it up!
Seats and rock and roll just don't mix. It's not right.
It's hard to move around when you got a fold-up chair in your ass.
We hate playing with seats, man. Hate it.
1, 2, 3, come on!
I don't want to sit there and entertain you.
Kind of destroys the vibe. No matter how hard you want to go off in a seated area, you really can't because your knees are hitting the other person's seat in front of you.
The seats are dangerous. The seats are very dangerous.
Especially if they're not bolted down.
You got a general admission thing going on. There's no room for sitting down. Everybody got to rock.
All y'all sitting down right here, why don't y'all go back there and let the in the back come up here? Get the up.
Get in the pit and try to love someone!
For veteran moshers, there's a set of unspoken rules that governs pit behavior.
Talk about mosh pit etiquette. You know, don't do anything to anybody else in the pit that you wouldn't want done to yourself.
If you are in the pit trying to love someone, bang, knock somebody down, help them back up.
If you fall down in the mosh pit and you're moshing out there, somebody's gonna be able to be there to help you up.
If someone's being really rough, nudge him and say, hey, mellow out.
If you throw punches in the pit, we're coming for you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
If you were 106 pounds, you could jump from the second speaker. If you were my weight, you don't do that, because that's the etiquette, because you don't want to kill anybody.
Beat each other up and take care of each other at the same time.
There's like a method to the madness in there.
I was on the Saturday Night Live show when Fear played, and that was the first time America ever saw anything like that on national TV.